What's up, metalworkers? It's Joe, the man behind the Mjolnir. So today I'm going to start something a little bit different, something I haven't done before. Little deck rundown, deck tech, walkthrough, whatever you want to call it. Going to go over Nethroi, my creature combo deck. The main purpose of this deck is to play some creatures, make them do things together, and win the game. Uh, yeah, so let's go ahead and get to it. I'm going to be going through it on Moxfield. I don't know if any of you have used Moxfield. I'm sure some of you have. But it's a pretty good platform to set up your deck lists and get visual looks at what your deck looks like. I'll have the links below, as well as my link tree to all the social media stuff, so that way you can look at all my altars and all the actual cool stuff, not my little jank homebrews or decks. So, yeah, let's get into it. All right, guys. So here it is. This is my Nethroi deck. Again, I'm using Moxfield on here with the visual grid so you can see all the cards. There's also different ways you can be on here. Just do text, and it just has the list. That's what I normally use, but for this, we'll go ahead and switch it to visual grid. That's my commander right there, Nethroi. So, first off, why Nethroi? Uh, on its face, a 5/5 Death Touch lifelink for 5. In standard, probably pretty good. I wouldn't really know. I don't play standard. But EDH, modern formats I do play, not good enough to cut the mustard. So why am I using it? Mainly the colors. It's black, green, white. Everything I have has black in it. I had to actively force myself to build Doretti, and in the process of building another set of partners that's just red white, trying to get out of my comfort zone, but pretty much everything black. Black is what I learned to play Magic with back in '99. So uh, it's also great colors for creature combo, and really the mutate effect was what I was really going for. Also, want to say I am by no means a competitive player. I don't play in tournaments or anything like that. I just play for fun. So, uh, yeah, you won't see any like super CEDH decks out of me. I tried building a CEDH out of Zer, and it's just not that much fun. I'd rather play jank and have a good time rather than play competitive three turns and the game's done. That's not fun to me. So back here, back to Nethroi. Uh, Nethroi really only is played as a win con due to the high cost of the mutate. 7 for mutate. The mutate is what I really want, and that's just a hedge if my main game plan goes to crap and all my creatures die. Um, so creature combo deck. We'll go ahead and start with the combos. This is a creature package, 33 creatures. Um, yeah, I'm saying a lot. Disregard that. 2-card combos. We'll start out with those. The obvious and always hated Walking Ballista and Heliod Suncrowned. If you're not aware of that, Heliod, whenever you gain life, put a 1/1 counter on a creature or enchantment, but in this case it's all creatures. And Walking Ballista, remove a 1/1 counter to deal damage. So if you got both of these on the field, you give Walking Ballista lifelink, it starts pinging. When it pings, it gets another counter, and so you just machine gun shoot everybody. And it's a really quick and easy way to lose friends, but win the game. Another 2-card combo is Heliod and Spike Feeder, which I like this. Not I haven't seen anybody play it, but it's essentially infinite life because you remove a counter to gain 2 life, then you automatically gain life, which triggers Heliod, so you put the counter back on him and just ping back and forth until you have arbitrary infinite life, whatever. And you'll see a couple of those infinite life combos in here. And the main point of that is not that I'm going to do anything with it. I mean, there is that one creature that if you have 40 or more life, you win the game on your upkeep. I could throw that in here, but really the main point of that is just to buy time. So those are the 2-card combos. Going into the 3-card combos, Druid, Vizier, and Walking Ballista. Devoted Druid allows you to make infinite mana when combined with Vizier, because the Devoted Druid puts -1/-1 counters to untap. Vizier says no -1/-1 counters, so you just untap, make infinite mana, throw it all on Walking Ballista, and shoot everybody. Another 3-card combo is Viscera Seer, Walking Ballista, and Mikaeus. Mikaeus gives other creatures +1/+1 and Undying. Now, if it wasn't for the +1/+1, a lot more combos would be opened up. But because it gives +1/+1, when I take the last counter off of Walking Ballista, it's still a 1/1. So we need that Viscera Seer to sack the Walking Ballista, so that way it comes back with the 1/1 counter on it. So then you essentially just remove the counter to shoot somebody, sack it to Viscera Seer, it comes back, remove the counter, and just bounce back and forth until you shoot everybody. Another infinite life combo, Kitchen Finks plus Viscera Seer plus Vizier or Luminous or Mikaeus for infinite life. I never really knew about this until a couple months back, but Luminous Broodmoth doesn't trigger the persist, so the minus counters, but it has the flying clause. And so when you sack Finks, you can have it come back with the persist counter on it, sack it again, have it come back with the flying, sack it again, back and forth. So you can actually just gain infinite life if you have a sack outlet on the field. It's pretty cool. And then another infinite 3-card damage life combo. Actually, no, it's not. Mikaeus and Feeder and Viscera Seer and Blood Artist. Lots of 4-card combos having to do with Blood Artist. Like Finks, Seer, Vizier, the one I just talked about. If you throw Blood Artist in the mix, then you have infinite damage and infinite life gain. So those are the card combos. Those are what we're trying to get to. All these other cards are really just good stuff. Either some ramp, some removal, making a lot of tokens, all that good stuff. So to get to those combos, we need enablers. How do we get there? So there's a couple different ways. With creatures, you have stuff like Ranger Captain, which can find up the Viscera Seer, which the Seer is pretty key to a lot of the different combos here. You also have Fiend Artisan, so you can sack tokens or other creatures, so that way you can find your combo pieces. Sidisi, that works too, even if it sacks itself. I mean, a 5-card tutor isn't the best, but sometimes just got to do it. And then for other cards, we've got stuff like Eladomri's Call. We've got Birthing Pod, Pattern of Rebirth. Just different cards to go ahead and find the creatures that you need to combo off. Court of Calling, Worldly Tutor, your normal stuff. But then other ways that we can really leverage the Nethroi is throwing stuff in your graveyard. Corpse Churn, Entomb, whereas Buried Alive, you throw it all in your graveyard, and then you Nethroi later on to bring out all your combo pieces at once. It's a pretty good thing. A lot of people will run your negates, your force of negation, stuff like that. So not a whole lot of hard counter capability, universal counter capability, and really I try to draw out those counters anyway by doing something like having a Heliod on the field and showing that I'm pulling Walking Ballista. So I'll try to play Walking Ballista, for 2 mana on 1 counter, Then somebody will counter it, because if they don't counter it, then I'll just ping off with those 2 cards. But if they do counter it, then cool. I'll recur it what I need with Dread Return or in Burial Rites, or just go back up to Big Daddy Nethroi to bring out everything all at once. We've also got Eternal Witness to bring stuff back, and Karmic Guide. So that's my recursion, a little bit of recursion package. What you'll see, or I should say what you won't see here very much, is any protection. I'm not running Heroic Intervention, or I don't even know Teferi's Protection, a bunch of other stuff. I'm not really running any protection in this deck, mainly because I'm going to be banking on the recursion. So, yeah. Because I don't have much protection, ensuring I don't die early is the key. So I got a lot of removal to stop other people from killing me. So universal removal, like Anguished Unmaking, Utter End, Beast Within, Assassin's Trophy, some creature removal and Hero's Downfall, Swords to Plowshares, and then Ravenous Chupacabra. Then we got some universal, some mass removal, Bane of Progress for those dang artifact and enchantment decks. And you have the, what's the Bant? Galea? You're just running Voltron, so hopefully to destroy all the enchantments, destroy the protection, so that way you can Hero's Downfall their commander. And then your normal Wrath of God and Damnation, running both of those in here. Again, because I don't really care too much about my own stuff dying, because I can bring it back. The other thing you won't see that's usually a staple to any good EDH deck is Mana Rocks. I'm not running any Mana Rocks, mainly because Mana Rocks are subject to removal. I've had many games where I'll think I have enough mana, got 3 or 4 Mana Rocks out, especially with Nethroi being a 7 CMC to mutate. Mana Rocks get destroyed, I'm set back. Whereas if I use ramp spells, I have lands, and lands are harder to deal with. So I have a high land count, going at 37. That's not too high, but it's high enough, I think. 37 lands, plus things like, where did it go? Kodama's Reach, Cultivate, Rampant Growth, your normal Sad Bot. So a little bit of ramp plus the high land count should mean I have enough lands to get done what I need to get done. And for my lands, I got nothing special in there. Just me, I play on the budget I can, so I don't have all the dual lands. I have a couple dual lands in my Lord Windgrace deck, but none in here. I own all these cards, so all the cards that you see on here are the same version, and foil, non-foil, alternate art, whatever. Everything you see is what I actually have. I play on the budget I have. So again, because I'm not competitive, so I don't really care about proxying or anything like that. So with my lands, went off on a tangent there. With my lands, there's nothing special. The main focus is having enough colors to hit any combination of colors I need. So things like your Fetid Heats, Flooded Strands to pick out my dual lands, shock lands I should say, the Endathia Triome so I can get one of each color. That's pretty much it. I'm heavier on green. You'll see with my basics, I got 5 forest, 4 plains, and 3 swamps. Heavier on green basics, mainly so I can ensure I have that ramp either for the birds, the Deathrite Shaman, or the Cultivate, or anything like that. Trying to get that ramp out earlier. A bunch of fetches, again, for that fixing. I'd love to pull an Endathia Triome or the Temple Garden with a fetch. And then the fetches also give me some fodder for the Deathrite Shaman, so he can be a little bit of ramp as well. Tiny bit of hedge against opponent wraths, sacrificing the creatures, so that way we can transform into Ormondal. And then 1 Field of Ruin mainly because I have been beat up by Academy Ruins and Mystic Sanctuary too many times. What I'm really weak to in here as well is enemy graveyard strategies. I really should put at least a Bojuka Bog in here or something like that so I can exile an opponent's graveyard, some sort of graveyard hate. I really need to get in here, but I don't want to do that too much because then it really just kills my own game plan. So hopefully I can just stay alive long enough to beat the other graveyard decks that are out there. So yeah, that's my Nethroi deck. If anybody knows any more efficient combos, anything I'm missing in here, hit me up in the comments below. I'll have a URL with the deck list down below as well as the link tree so you can see all my other deck lists on Moxfield. I'm EOD Nerd. Let me know what you think of this format. How do you like going through the deck on Moxfield? Would you prefer to have it physical cards in hand? Because I can do that too. I just figured this would be a much more clean and easier to go back and forth between cards. Yeah, that's all I got for you. We'll see you guys next time.